Welcome, seeker, to Sunday Moments, a sanctuary for the spirit amidst the symphony of the week. Here, in the hush of shared reflection, we gather to bathe in the wisdom of timeless voices, those who illuminate the path to a life imbued with meaning and purpose. Today, we turn our hearts towards the radiant legacy of Dr. Howard Thurman, a theologian, philosopher, and civil rights leader whose words transcended borders and ignited souls. His message, steeped in the richness of Black spiritual traditions, continues to resonate, a clarion call to embrace compassion, courage, and unwavering pursuit of enlightenment.
Good Sunday morning. This is Randy LaFall on a rainy day in far east Texas on the border with Louisiana. It is a rainy day. It's also March the 17th, 2024, St. Patrick's Day. A few quick reminders that, first off, St. Patrick did not get all the snakes out of Ireland. And also, too, really the focus, from what I can see from many Irish Catholics, is that focuses on St. Francis during this time of the year. However, also is a very important day to remind those in my family, especially on my wife's side of the family. It's the rest in peace birthday of my brother-in-law, Roger Johnson, from Big Sandy, Texas. Mr. Johnson worked over 29 years as a federal drug enforcement agent and succumbed to kidney failure. However, let's say happy rest in peace, Roger, and thank you for your service, both in the Air Force as well. Today, I am somewhat wanting to say that hope is not a plan. And needless to say, hope is more a clarification of our faith, from my little mind, okay? But also, too, focusing on today's Sunday moment as well as another reading, needless to say, compassion is at an all-time low. Obviously, yesterday we all saw a 25-year-old brutally killed 3 people. And once again, the cry is about mental health. And yes, it is absolutely mental health. And it's also guns. And it's also alcohol. And it's also a population that is 18 to 25 who are representing 35% of the prison population, and probably 60% of African American men and boys from 18 to 25 are a part of that population. Also, too, quite recently, a survey found that Gen X population are more concerned about tanning than they are about today's current situation. Seriously, the stats showed that Gen Z, I'm sorry, not Gen X, Gen Z believe that 20% have tans, according to TikTok, and at least 30% would rather just have their tan now and not care what they look like. And remember, this got 4 billion hits. That's billion with a B. And I know this probably sounds unrealistic to you, but it does go back to the point of our today's moment, Sunday moment. Today's world seems to be unaware of Gaza, of Ukraine, of Haiti. Meanwhile, as well as Gen Z, and their focus is probably on tanning. So, this morning, I want to share with you several readings. I hope they are relevant. And I want you to know that these readings are just as important for my salvation and belief system as that I hope they are for yours. I always talk about the producers of our Sunday school book across the nation, primarily African Americans, by a man named Dr. R.H. Boyd. And so this morning, I would share with you just the intro to Dr. Boyd's March the 17th, lesson 11, defending our faith. And as always, the key verse is from 1 Peter, and it is that, for it is better, if the will of God be so, that ye suffer for well-doing than for evil-doing. In addition to many other experiences that believers can expect to encounter as they endeavor to live for God, suffering is perhaps the most common. As a hallmark of our faith, suffering is an inevitable reality we all must endure as part of our spiritual maturation. The short explanation for this is that because Jesus suffered, and he is the example of how our lives live our lives, Suffering 101 is on course curriculum for our faith development. The test of our faith is measured not only by the type of suffering we endure, but rather the way we endure it. Some believers have allowed their suffering to derail their faith and have subsequently given up on God. But others have faced suffering that has proven to be essential for their spiritual growth. Though these sufferings, saints would not want to go through that painful experience a second time, they are ultimately grateful for whatever that painful experience and grateful for what that painful experience, for whatever the suffering produced in them. Peter encourages believers to do three things. First, he implores us not to repay evil for evil. Second, the Christian motif must be to practice good. And third, not only are we to do good, but we're also to be willing to suffer for doing good if necessary. As usual, our next reading comes from Dr. Howard Thurman's Meditations of the Heart, and it is on page 61, and it is lesson 1 on 317:24. Life seems unaware. Once again, the smell of death rides on the winds, and fear lurks within the shadows of the mind. One by one, the moments tick away. Days and nights are interludes between despairing hope and groping faith. Of this bleak desolation, life seems unaware. Seeds still die and live again in answer to their kind. Fledgling birds awake to life from prison house of shell. Flowers bloom and blossoms fall as harbingers of fruit to come. The newborn child comes even on the wings of death. The thought of men are blanketed by dreams of tranquil days and peaceful years, when love unfettered will keep the heart and the mind in a way of life that crown our days with light. How prophetic and poetic and just downright right on. Dr. Howard Thurman. This is Randi LaFall from Randy's Rant with the Sunday Moment. I hope you've enjoyed it this day, and enjoy your St. Patrick's Day as you must. Peace be with you. Come in peace and go in peace.
In this space, may we all find solace, inspiration, and perhaps a touch closer to the light that beckons within. This is Sunday Moments. Join us as we embark on a spiritual exploration, guided by the luminous words of Dr. Howard Thurman and the insightful voice. This podcast aims to be a compass, a guiding light as we navigate the often murky waters of existence. Here we will celebrate the triumphs of the Spirit, delve into the shadows of doubt, and ultimately emerge a little closer to the understanding the grand orchestra of life's purpose. So settle in, dear listener. Let the worries of the week melt away and allow yourself to be enveloped by the transformative power of Dr. Thurman's words, masterfully interpreted